Hello, I'm Sunanda Jha and welcoming you to our weekly webinar. And before moving to our topic of the week, we would like to wish you a happy and a prosperous Diwali. For today's topic, we have investment idea, India on Fidelity, India's fund, a diversified section of 50 to 70 Indian companies and their performance. To talk more about the same, we have Vijay Raj, the portfolio manager, along with different investment manager who would share their insight on the same. So let's get started.
Now we talk about some of the investment ideas. I think what are the investment ideas that's coming up? So Max, you were talking about, I think we had a discussion last week and you talked about a couple of funds basically. So yeah. I'll give to you. Talking about both the how to invest in India. So I think with Indian investing, we have our brokerage arm as well, which we're going to use it as well. But that's a very little bit complex. But from the Australian terms, we got direct. I think I'll leave it up to you, please.
Thank you. Thanks, Vijay. Yeah, we've been getting a number of inquiries actually in regards to gaining exposure, direct exposure to stocks in India. So it'd be good if where we can sort of over time get that access through Laverne Investing, which would be very, very handy. We're getting a lot of interest, but but for now, people have got opportunity to invest in India indirectly through managed funds. Active funds, ETFs. There's an ETF which I'll talk about, and also depository receipts of certain Indian companies that are listed on NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange. It's not a vast list. There's only about 13 stocks with their ADRs listed in the US, and we'll talk about one particular stock as well. So to start off with the Fidelity India Fund, we know these guys. We've met with the team on a number of occasions as part of our research on this fund. It's India-focused fund. They've got about a bit over $200 million that they invest. They've been around for 15 odd years, 16 years, focused on India. They charge around 1.2%. They are a long-term, mid to long-term focused fund. So their returns on a shorter term basis from, on a 1 year or 3 year basis are not that exciting, but it starts to sort of break away after 5 years. They sort of generate decent alpha. They've got a team of research analysts, Fidelity in India. They've got PM sitting in Singapore. And Fidelity as a brand has been around since for the past 60 years or so. So it's a global asset management brand. So quite interesting from that point of view, from resourcing as well. So if you wanted to gain exposure to India with some smarts about your investment strategy, well, this would be one fund to go through. If I could move on to the next slide, please. I talked about the performance. Yeah, the fund itself has got a mandate of, look, past performance is never a definite indicator of future returns. We have looked into the process and the investment team of Fidelity Fund. It's all logical, it's coherent. They are very much bottom-up driven research analysts. They get into the industry sectors, they go into the companies and analyzing them. We like their exposure to, as Vijay and Pooja were talking about the thematics, a couple of thematics around conglomerates. Where this smart capital is in the Indian market, the thematic of the deregulation of the banks. So from that perspective, these guys are positioned in these two sort of exposures. So well-resourced team and solid investment process, but you will have to be in there for over half a decade to start seeing some returns. That's one opportunity.